Hello, and welcome to Introduction to Business. I'm your Professor John Harvey, and it's going to be a short video this week, guys. I just want to cover that this week you should be covering chapters 10 and 11. If you're catching that, it's a little different. You've gone through chapters 1 through 8. I've moved 9. 9 I felt like is a chapter that can be better served if we cover it in context with another chapter. So kind of weird, we go 1 through 8 and then we start in on 10, 11 and go for a little ways. So if you were trying to read ahead and you read chapter 9, relax. You'll get to chapter 9 eventually in the course. It's just out of order. So hopefully that doesn't catch you off guard. Hopefully you can still stay caught up and everything. If you're like, oh man, just read an extra chapter for nothing, it'll come into play later on. So don't worry about that. But this week you're working on chapters 10 and 11, so that's a little different. Hopefully that doesn't catch you off guard too much. The last thing I want to talk about is discussion board. So there was the discussion board for the entrepreneurial quiz, and you know, I got a lot of good feedback from you guys, a lot of interesting insights. So that's really what I was hoping for. You know, I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. I think starting businesses is super cool and really fun, and you know, critical to the economy and all of that. But I've also worked for large companies and small companies, and I can recognize that there are certain people that you know, it's just not the right fit. You know, I had a fellow coworker that was like, just tell me what to do, give me the checklist, I'll get it done, and you know, I'll feel happier about my day and be done. And for me, like, if I get stuck with the checklist, oh my gosh, it's just killing me. You know, so I know that there's just totally different styles. You know, for me, I love it when it's like chaos and unknown and nobody knows what to do or how to make it happen or whatever. And I love walking in on that and trying to bring order to it. But you get me to try and follow a set of procedures and guidelines and steps for every single activity, and oh my gosh, it's just a nightmare. So knowing that and experiencing that can help you understand whether or not, you know, you have the flair for entrepreneurship. And I think this quiz does a great job of helping you kind of just know that about yourself. It's not like if you're not interested in entrepreneurship, that's a bad thing. It just means, hey, you know, probably working for a startup isn't a great idea for you. You know, find a larger corporation, something that's kind of more established, and know that about yourself. And several of you were like, yep, you know, this confirms what I already know. I'm good with that. The one thing I would say is for those that do have that flair, but also kind of are that risk adverse kind of people, you know, whether it's the money thing or something else, just a couple thoughts. One, I shared this on the discussion board, but you know, generally you don't go cold turkey. You don't just jump from one to the other. That's a pretty risky deal. What you do is you start a side business. You know, you take all your spare moments, every little extra bit you've got of time and energy, and you devote that to a side business. And if the side business grows large enough to where it's covering roughly half your regular salary, then you have a decision to make. Hey, do I jump and, you know, pursue this full time? I mean, it's working part time, but if I really put in some effort, you know, this could go somewhere. That's when you kind of have that decision. You don't just go, I'm going to quit this and start that. And, you know, those are risky propositions. It makes it very hard and puts a lot of pressure on the business. So that's one thought for you. The other one is to know that within a large company, you can still have those entrepreneurial positions. So product marketing kind of works that way. Sometimes strategic development works that way. Sometimes in controlling or finance can work that way. So all of those kind of things to let you know that the idea of coming up with a new business or a new product or a new way of doing things can benefit a large company just as well as going off on your own and starting your own company. It has a little less risk in that, you know, you're kind of using you're getting a salary probably from the large company and stuff. So Just because you have that flair for entrepreneurship doesn't mean you have to go start a business. You can take those skills and really hone them within a large company, and you'll find some great success with that. So, all right, guys, with that, last thing. So next week I'm traveling for work. So I won't be available to do a video, so I might post just a notice, but it'll be probably a quick one. So just so you know, I'm around, I'm still available, but probably no video next week. All right, guys, take care.